Welcome back, everyone, to the Deltona Biz Review. Today, we're diving headfirst into a local eatery that seems to have people talking online. It's New China City, located at 1382 Howland Boulevard, Suite 118, right here in Deltona.
Right.
You sent over a bunch of reviews from Yelp and TripAdvisor, and, well, our mission today is to unpack what locals are actually saying about this Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, I get a feel for the real experience.
Exactly. We're looking at the big questions. How's the food? What about the prices, service, ambiance, if you go pick it up.
And the practical stuff too, like phone number, website, can you order online, all that.
Got it.
And it's interesting, right off the bat, you see this difference. Yelp sitting at 3.0 stars. That's with 35 reviews.
Okay.
But then TripAdvisor's higher, 3.9 stars with 28 reviews.
So not miles apart, but definitely noticeable gap. Suggests different experiences, like you said.
Precisely. And that's what we need to dig into.
All right, let's jump straight to the main event for any restaurant. The food quality. This seems to be where things get pretty polarized.
Definitely seems that way.
On Yelp, wow, some reviews are really harsh. People using words like horrible, bland, even worse food ever.
Oof. Never good to hear.
Yeah, and specific examples too. Someone said the wonton soup tasted like brown salt water. Doesn't sound great.
No, not exactly appealing.
And beef teriyaki described as rubber. Tough to chew, I imagine. And it wasn't just one thing, General So, the rice, boneless spare ribs, egg rolls, they all got negative mentions there.
It's quite a list of complaints across different dishes.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder about consistency, doesn't it? Or maybe ingredient freshness on certain days.
It really does. It paints a picture of some people having a genuinely bad time with the food.
Seems so.
But then switch over to TripAdvisor and it's like, night and day sometimes. We found one review pretty recent too from last September. The person said they were extremely happy. Yeah, hadn't eaten there in like 20 years apparently and was super impressed by the improvements.
Wow, 20 years. That's a long time between visits. What did they like?
They praised the freshness egg roll specifically. Like the sweet and sour chicken, spare ribs, mushu pork, roast chicken chow mein, fun. Whole list.
So a much better experience.
And get this, they specifically mentioned no excessive salt. Completely the opposite of that brown salt water comment.
That is just wild. How can experiences be so different? Maybe changes in the kitchen? New staff?
Could be. It's hard to say. There was another TripAdvisor review from 2021 saying the taste was consistent, portions were good, and if there was an issue, they fixed it quickly.
Okay, so some positive consistency noted there too, and good recovery if something goes wrong.
Right. And another long-timer on TripAdvisor, though this was back in 2018, said the quality for takeout was consistently good for them.
So a history of some people finding it reliable, at least for takeout.
It's a real seesaw. Now, Yelp does list popular dishes. It includes sesame chicken, roast pork fried rice, and 3-piece beef teriyaki.
Okay, the usual suspects for popularity.
Yeah, but it's funny, right? Sesame chicken got positive and negative mentions in the reviews we looked at. And that beef teriyaki someone called rubber, it's listed as popular.
Huh. That just adds to the confusion, really. Popular doesn't always mean universally loved, I guess. Or maybe, like we said, it's just inconsistent. Hit or miss.
Exactly. Could be different expectations, too. What one person thinks is great sesame chicken, another might not.
Very true. Classic dishes can be subjective.
Okay, let's shift gears. What about the cost? That came up in your questions.
Ah, yes. Pricing. Always important.
One Yelp reviewer was pretty upset. Said the price they paid was way over what was on the online menu. Felt like $20 wasted.
Ouch. Yeah, that's frustrating. If the online menu isn't up to date, people feel misled.
We saw that on TripAdvisor too. Someone else mentioned being quoted a higher price than the online menu showed. They basically said, update it or take the old prices down.
Makes sense. It's about transparency. Mismatched prices just breed distrust. That's something easy for them to fix, hopefully.
Though interestingly, way back in 2016, someone on TripAdvisor actually thought the prices were too low for the amount and quality.
Huh. Well, times change and costs definitely go up. So maybe prices have increased, but the online info hasn't kept pace.
Seems likely. Yelp just marks it as unclaimed, suggesting moderate pricing generally. So probably not super high end, but maybe not as cheap as it once was.
And that unclaimed status on Yelp is key.
How so?
It means the business probably isn't actively managing that page, which could explain outdated menus, maybe slow responses to reviews, that sort of thing.
Ah, good point. Okay,
Well,
what about the people? Service?
Always a big part of the experience, even for takeout.
Well, again, mixed signals. One Yelp review was quite negative. Describes staff as rude, Poor communication skills, a negative vibe, felt totally ignored.
Yeah, that can ruin even a decent meal. Feeling unwelcome is a major turnoff.
Definitely. But then you guessed it, TripAdvisor offers a counterpoint.
Let me guess, friendly and great.
You got it. Several reviews use words like great, always friendly, even the nicest people ever.
Wow, nicest people ever. That's high praise.
Yeah. One person specifically enjoyed chatting with the daughters who sometimes work the counter.
So, again, completely different ends of the spectrum. Some feel ignored and sense rudeness, others feel welcomed by lovely people. It's puzzling.
It really is. Makes it tough to know what you'll get when you walk in or call.
Total gamble on the service front, it seems.
How about the place itself? The ambiance, if you're just popping in to grab your food.
Right, the physical environment.
Yelp gives some basics. Moderate noise, casual atmosphere, says it's good for kids.
Well, it's pretty standard for a neighborhood Chinese takeout place. Functional, not fancy.
That seems to be the gist. A TripAdvisor review from 2019 kind of pushed back on anyone calling it dark, saying there's a window front, you can see the cooking area.
Okay, so maybe not dingy, just simple.
Right. But that same reviewer agreed it's no romantic evening spot, called it a takeout joint, which fits the casual description.
Makes sense. Manage expectations is for getting food to go.
Although there was one Yelp review, older one from 2016, where the person felt eerie because they couldn't see the cook, even though they thought the price was okay then.
Eerie. That's an unusual word. Maybe the layout changed, or maybe it's just very subjective, like you said earlier. What one person finds open, another might find closed off.
Yeah, perception is everything sometimes. The main takeaway seems to be expect casual, expect takeout focus.
Sounds about right. Practical.
Okay, let's nail down the practical details people might need.
Good idea. Address, phone number.
Address is 332 Howland Blvd, Suite 118, Deltona, FL 32738.
Got it.
Phone number seems consistent across Yelp, TripAdvisor, MapQuest. +1 386 860 2289.
Good. Consistent contact info is a plus.
Website is listed as newchinacity.deltona.com on Yelp and MapQuest. Yelp even links a specific menu PDF on there.
Okay, so a website exists, potentially with a menu, though we know about the pricing issues mentioned.
Exactly. Now, ordering options.
Yeah.
This gets a bit murky.
Oh.
How so? Well, Yelp and TripAdvisor both say takeout and delivery. Standard enough.
Right.
But Yelp also says offers reservations, which feels odd for this kind of place, maybe.
Yeah, reservations for a casual takeout joint seems unlikely. Might be an error on Yelp's side, especially if it's unclaimed.
Could be. Then a TripAdvisor review explicitly says takeout only.
Okay.
But the main TripAdvisor page has an order delivery button. And MapQuest says they offer dine-in, takeout, and delivery.
So, it's confusing. Takeout seems certain. Delivery is likely available via some platform. Dine-in and reservations are questionable.
That sums it up pretty well. Conflicting signals there.
Definitely highlights why businesses need to keep their listings consistent everywhere. Saves customer confusion.
For sure. On the plus side, online ordering does seem probable. TripAdvisor's page title mentions it. There's a button. Yelp has order food options for takeout and delivery, mentions no fees, gives estimated times.
Okay, so if you want convenience, ordering online is likely the way to go, probably through TripAdvisor's portal or whatever Yelp links to.
Seems that way. And good news for vegetarians. Yelp notes many vegetarian options.
Always good to have choices. Broadens the appeal.
And finally, for comparison's sake, Yelp and MapQuest list other restaurants nearby in Deltona, so you can always check out alternatives if you're unsure.
Right. Context is helpful. See what else is around.
So wrapping this all up, after our deep dive into what locals are saying about New China City through these reviews, it's really a restaurant with quite the range of experiences tied to it.
A real spectrum, yeah.
You've got some longtime folks who remember it fondly or have had consistently okay takeout.
Right. The loyalists are the ones who've found a groove with it.
But then, especially more recently, it seems, there are these pretty strong concerns popping up about the food quality on some visits, those frustrating price differences compared to online menus, and service that can apparently be either really nice or quite the opposite.
And inconsistency is the main theme, isn't it? Food, price info, service. It all seems variable.
It really does. But we also saw those recent positive TripAdvisor reviews. So a good experience isn't totally off the table. It just might not be, a sure thing.
Seems like a gamble depending on the day. Maybe the dish, maybe who's working.
Exactly. The perception among Deltona locals seems genuinely divided. Hopefully, this breakdown gives everyone listening a clearer picture, or at least a better sense of the potential highs and lows.
Hope so too. Helps manage expectations.
Well, that's our look at New China City. Next time on the Deltona Biz Review, we're going to check out what all the buzz is about surrounding Yixin Boba Tea Cafe.
Ooh, boba tea. Sounds interesting.
It does. We hope you'll join us for that. Thanks for tuning in.